once again. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Respect the Craft. This is episode number 69, as I'm joined by a
Nice.
good friend here. It is Brandon Lewis himself. How's it going, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on the 69th episode. This is fantastic. I love it. Nice.
Oh, no problem, brother. And I just realized the number too. That's great. But hey, it works out. But again, I definitely wanted to have you on. It's been a long time, man. You're one of the guys. That's why when I was promoting, I was like, hey, it's been a minute. It's been now going on 7 years that I've known
Right.
you. Like,
Right.
geez, it's almost a whole other lifetime now. Oh man, I definitely.
It's good though, because you go to these different shows and you see the people that a lot of people who they might have been fans. They might have been people who were maybe just your friends who you break in together, and then you see how your paths diverge, and then when you meet up again and you get to see, oh, what are you doing now? It's like, oh, well, I'm doing this and this, and what are you doing now? Oh, I'm doing this and this. It's always cool seeing how the journey goes, and it's been fun being on this journey with you, man.
No, definitely. So we'll definitely be getting into that a little bit. But before we get into any of that, I have to ask you the question I ask everyone that comes on, and
Okay.
is again, you heard the name of the podcast. It's called Respect the Craft. So when you hear that term, the craft, what does that mean to you?
It's might be different for me from behind the table. Respecting the craft, to me, that just means paying a proper tribute to the art form that you're working in, as you're working in it. Because you don't really, that's not a term used for people on the outside. People who are in the audience can't really respect the craft. They don't know the craft. They don't know everything that goes into creating the presentation. Um, so respect the craft is really paying tribute to the art form, every piece of it, from someone who's inside, who's been there. So that's what it means to me. That tribute from us, for our art form.
Got you. That's perfect, and definitely is definitely. That's one of the reasons I named this because I wanted to give that proper tribute to this art form and to this lovely business that we are a part of. Which again, like I touched on at the beginning, it has been 7 years and it's been a crazy road because, like you said, that first time we met, you were at the commentary booth. That's where I got to see you. I want to say it was Civil War. Yeah, I think that was the show I got to see you guys at. And again, started as the fan there, getting to see you guys. And I think now 7 years later, we're both still in the business now. I'm in it as well. And we have a show
And
coming up.
kudos to you, man.
Like,
Kudos. Working hard.
definitely, man. And it's been a fun road. It's been a fun road. But let's start talking a little bit about this because what got you to want to be a part of the business as well? What was it that got you in to say, you know what, hey, I'm a fan of this, but I want to get involved as well?
Um, I guess being a fan starts from early childhood. I can't remember when I started watching wrestling because the way that parents shut their kids up by putting on Netflix or YouTube and Coca-Melon and whatever they use to put kids to sleep now, my parents are putting on wrestling to make me just sit and be still. So I've been watching even before I can actually remember watching. It's just always been there. Uh, Participating in it, it's something I've always wanted to do. I always wanted to get involved. I didn't know if I had what it takes to necessarily be a wrestler. And, I just used to mess around a little bit in the playground, just wrestling. And I met my buddy Pete. Pete had a promotion he was running, 2KW. 2KW started out in the parks, but he wanted to do more than that. And we were putting on our first pro shows in the Ace Arena in New Jersey with big help to Mike Morgan, who I got a lot of love for. Haven't spoken to him for in a while, but it's always been love whenever we do chat. And you talk about respecting the craft. It began there. Like, I've already had an idea of, because I'm a theater kid, so I already had an idea of how to act. And so I showed up in that first 2KW show as a manager. I was managing Sir William Black, and I came in this hot arena wearing my suit. I had my tie. I think it was a 3-piece, because I think there's pictures. I had a vest, and apparently I took the jacket off, and just like, it's got to be the vest. It's just got to be the vest because it's too hot for the jacket. But I shook everyone's hand, and that was the beginning for me. I got to do commentary, and I got to manage. I was doing my Bobby the Brain Heenan double duty, and it was a lot of fun. I was very fortunate to know the people I knew who could help break me in.
Got you. I know it's funny. I thought it was that because I remember the 2KW days and seeing the promotion it became as well. So I was like, I feel like that's where the start was, but I was like, let me see if he gives me the story first.
Oh yeah, yeah. It started in the park,
Yeah,
but Pete always wanted to do something more than that, and I don't think he ever got to execute the vision that he had.
yeah.
But running a promotion is not easy.
No, it is not.
Eh, you know, I see a couple of my friends are, promoting their own shows now, people who were behind the broadcast booth running the show, and it's not easy. Not everybody gets to do it. It's not operating a promotion is not something that lasts long for everybody.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's this passion project that unfortunately it's not the passion that kept it from growing. It's a lot of other factors, a lot of responsibility, a lot of money, a lot of egos, a lot of people to keep track of. It's but I began in 2KW, and it continues from there.
okay. So from that, how did you get to you doing stuff with 1495 Sports? Which I had to find a few images here to show. Look at that with a young that young stallion right there with Paul London. Look at that.
Yeah,
And then
that's
we
one of my
keep going.
best friends right there.
And look at that. We got a young Bandito Jr. there. We got Trent Beretta. And then look at that. We got Matt Hardy before he was broken. This
Yes,
this
before he
interview
was
right
broke.
there might have broke him. That's what happened.
Probably. Probably. I have that reputation. There was definitely some clunkers in there. A lot of those interviews are really fun.
Yeah.
I was working with the Maximos. They had their own promotion. Uh, the gym was Ludist.
Yep.
Yeah, Fighting Spirit Wrestling.
There you go. Okay.
And I had found that I don't want to. This is like old stuff, so I don't like want to talk, especially when you've had them on the show. These are people like, in the end, we respect the craft, and we got a lot of love for these people. So it's no point in bringing up old stuff. But it was just best for me to depart, and so I was sitting on my ass doing nothing. I knew I wanted to do something. I didn't know what it was, and Joey Ace was working in FWE, I think it was Family Wrestling Entertainment. And while he was doing that, he had met Stacy Podolsky, who had 1495 Sports. I believe it's still, up and running. Got a lot of respect for Stacy because she was already working, I guess, with a website and wanted, had these ideas she wanted to do, and people weren't taking her seriously. And so she was like, I'm going to start my own sports website. But she didn't have a stick man for the wrestling promotions, and she's not comfortable being in front. She likes being behind the camera, even when it's not interviews. She's a photographer also. She takes pictures. She's a lot of the wrestlers, some of their profile pictures she took. So Joey Ace linked me and Stacy together for these FWE shows, and that was really, those are probably my biggest, most successful days possibly, because they were her website. It wasn't for anyone's promotion, and we weren't really getting paid. No one was paying us to show up. We saw ourselves as news, so we would go, and everyone would give us access because these are indie shows, and any promotion they could get, yeah, you know. By the way, check out Sabotage, Catalyst Wrestling this Saturday. I mean, this Sunday. There we go. No, Saturday. I'm leaving. Yeah. I'm leaving Sunday. I've got my days mixed up. I'm going camping on Sunday. For anyone who wants to join me, and this Saturday, Catalyst Wrestling is going to be a lot of fun. But yes, free promotion. People would have us go, and I'd get to interview both up and coming guys who had never, seen television, and they got to get their promo opportunities in front of me. And then also I got to talk to some of the biggest names in wrestling, not just at the time, but even now. AJ Styles is still a name. I got to chat with him. So it was a cool opportunity for us to work together. And I'm grateful to Joey Ace for putting me on. He gave me my biggest spotlight. So, and Stacy, wherever she is, I'm always grateful for what she's done for me as well.
There you go. But no, definitely. And here we go. We got Matt in the chat saying, "Soy Latino TV por vida." There you go.
Yeah, Fighting Spirit Wrestling. We had our syndicated television deal on like public access something, but it's I don't even want to joke, because when you look at streaming now, and Matt's my boy, and he's the one who's always like, Matt Ryan, by the way, he was on the show. For those who've been watching, go check out that episode. Go check out every episode of Respect the Craft, but check out Matt's episode. But Matt, we had our, was it FSW Power on Soy Latino TV. And, people watch. And so you look at the streaming platforms. Matt, I brought him up because he's always the one that goes and lets me know, all right, so this show, we're on this streaming platform that I didn't even know existed. But now even the smallest independent show has the opportunity to get hundreds, thousands of viewers. And you don't even know where they're coming from. It's crazy. Every match matters. Every match matters.
No, definitely so. And again, I think that's been the biggest growth. And I can imagine you've gotten to see it now, how, especially with modern social media and all that, it's exploded right now. Right. Since that earlier days to now, it's like, look at what we're doing right now. This wasn't possible a few years ago. That we're right now on 4 different platforms right now, streaming this podcast.
Yeah,
like it's insane.
It's an amazing time right now to, and it's not just wrestling. You got musicians on SoundCloud, everybody getting their TikTok on. It's a wild opportunity for multimedia entertainers to go and put out their best efforts. It's cool that AEW has a TNT and a TBS championship. That's nice, but it really feels like if we're going to bring back the old TV title format, it almost feels like calling it a multimedia championship would be the best way to go, because a lot of people are watching on YouTube now, or one of the pirate sites.
I'm just waiting for someone to go old school and just bring a LimeWire title.
I feel like that I should make an exclusive web show just for Daily Motion. Exclusively, YouTube, fuck YouTube. Pardon my language. I've already said it. You can edit it. But for those who are watching live, you heard it. And But yeah, I'm gonna put out something for Daily Motion, because YouTube, their algorithm, they will just swallow you whole. So it's all about, like, I have stuff on YouTube, but It's all about the other stuff. Follow Catalyst Wrestling on TikTok. There is a TikTok where you can see some great action on their TikTok. You might even hear my voice. It's great.
You definitely will. But again, to everyone watching, still subscribe to my YouTube, please. We're still trying to grow those
subscribe
numbers.
To both. Yeah.
And subscribe to the Catalyst as well. Go see all that great backlog of content.
Whoever's giving us the most money, just
hey, let's be realistic. We need the dollars.
Yeah.
But let's go into that. Let's go into a little bit of the commentary field, because this is one of the ways I got to meet you was through your commentary.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that, getting to get your foot in the door as well in other of the promotions in the tri-state.
I have to give all the credit in the world to my friends. That's, you heard me acknowledge Pete. People may not know who Pete is, but I acknowledge him because he got me in the door. Working with Fighting Spirit Wrestling, that was Pete. Pete was trying to help do a co-brand thing with 2KW and Fighting Spirit Wrestling, and that didn't work out, but that's how it began. So I thank Pete for getting me into commentary and working with the Maximos. I got to meet and work with like my first big names. I met Homicide at FSW, I met Shane Douglas at FSW. I got to do commentary with my boys, though, the broadcast boys. That was AJ Orsini, myself, and Matt Ryan. So we were doing commentary together. When I already credited Joey Ace for introducing me to Stacy. Stacy is how I got to meet everybody else, doing interviews at their show. But it's getting to do that with Stacy and that's how I got to meet Jack and ICW, getting to do Hog, and that was great. But the opportunities didn't come from the promoters. The promoters didn't hit me up and say, hey, we're thinking of having you on the show. It was AJ Orsini who went to bat for me and said, hey, let's do commentary. Let's bring Brandon Liu in. Matt Ryan brought me into, I believe it was Matt who brought me into ICW with Jack. Beautiful Bobby, beautiful Bobby. He not eaten, by the way. But Bobby got me to do like a ring announcing gig at like NDIW. These opportunities that came up. And you know what? I'm gonna toot my own horn. The earliest days of Game Changer Wrestling, that was Matt Ryan getting me in to that,
There you go. I was like, perfect segue there. I had a picture lined up that works.
Yeah, so it's like I'm thankful for the opportunities that the promoters gave me, but it's my boys who gave me the opportunity, because I'm not great at selling myself. I will put over your promotion. I'll put over your I'll put over your wrestlers, your championships, your podcasts. But the putting over myself has never been part of the job for me, which is terrible because, I joke about the money aspect, but it's, in the end, you do want to be successful. You do want to make money doing this thing you love. And it's my friends who allowed me the opportunity to make some money. It's them who vouched for me, like, get this guy. This guy is good as what he's doing. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful to all my broadcast boys. AJ Pan booked me, and he was someone I did broadcast with. He had his own promotion, and he booked me for a show. I'm grateful for AJ Pan. All my friends. I think I've been a good friend, and the good part of being a good friend is they will get you back by putting you on when they have something to put you on to.
This is where now we're waiting for the Brandon Lewis promotion to come. Now you're gonna have like 50 commentators.
I'll tell you what. I think everybody secretly wants to at least put on a show. I don't want to run a promotion, because running a promotion I feel like that's something that, there's an expectancy to continue, and I don't have the heart for it. There's a lot of, but there's absolutely shows I could see myself putting on a little spot show here or there that I would love to do. And because it's a spot show, I don't have to worry about ongoing feuds. I don't have to worry about a roster, which I think is like, I don't want to say rosters. The concept of a roster for independent wrestling is always baffled me a little bit, but it's nice to have reliable people that you can count on to show up. But if I was running just a spot show here or there, I don't have to worry about a roster. It's just, let me put on a show that I think will be fun, but that I need money first. I need people to buy into the idea, and
hey, there you go. This is why, again, shout out Daily Motion for his content.
I can do what everybody else did and just get, like, the money mark. The money mark is part of the craft, by the way. Respect the money mark. The money mark is part of the craft. Because a lot of these shows would not exist without the money mark. I love them. I can use your money too. If you want to do something, shout out to Money Mark.
I'm dying just because I feel like unless you're in the business, that term is like, what are they talking about? What's a money mark?
I mean, Smart Mark already has a gimmick going on in AEW. So Money Mark, that's a name right there. That's somewhere out there in the indies. I know there's a Money Mark walking around. And,
definitely so.
And good for him or her. Definitely. Whoever. That name is up for grabs as far as I know. Take it.
There you go. We'll probably see one this weekend. You'll just see someone using that gimmick now. Money Mark. That's going to be it. We're going to be like, we knew where it started. But
yeah.
But here we go. We got another old friend in the chat. We got Andy Lee Ray saying, looking good, sir. There you go.
Man, I haven't seen Andy Lee in forever. I haven't seen a lot of people in forever. Unfortunately, a lot of my boys who I met in Haag. And why is my phone going off? Oh, no. I'm busy.
It's the money marks calling. Why are you exposing us?
Oh, man. But the opportunity is there for anyone who wants the gimmick. Andy Lee Ray, I got a lot of love for him. Oh my goodness, I can't. I don't know why I keep getting, and I know who's calling, and I don't know why. But this is live, and I can't do nothing about it. This is.
well, that situation. Don't forget, guys, Sabotage this Saturday. You'll see both of us there, so definitely come check it out.
Hello, this is going live. Yeah. Hi.
Once again, guys, go check out Sabotage. We'll be there live this Saturday. Look at that great card right there. Again, check out the episode with Matt Ryan as we went through the whole card on yesterday's episode. Let me mute his mic so that way he can have some privacy in his conversation. But again, come out to Chillos. Again, it's going to be a great card stacked featuring the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship, the Catalyst Heavyweight Championship, the Catalyst Tag Team Championship, the Freestyle Championship, and so much more. And let me now unmute his mic. And there we go. See, it's like I do this. Again, this is why I'm 69 episodes in.
That was my lovely lady. And to anyone watching who think you can't love wrestling and just be a cool guy who gets ladies, that is wrong. You can absolutely just be a cool guy who loves wrestling and get ladies. Also, I think that this was planned. Someone doesn't want me to put over Andy Lee Ray. Andy Lee Ray, I got a lot of love for. I know him as one of my Hog boys, but I've seen him in a whole bunch of other shows. I've called a ton of his matches. He's someone who I thought was ahead of the game with the gimmick. knew what people were into, knew how to market what he was doing, and I think underappreciated, because when everyone sees you for your personality, what you do in the ring sometimes gets overshadowed. And I always enjoyed working with him. So thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the art. Unfortunately, a lot of my hog boys, the last time I saw a bunch of them was for Maddie's funeral, and that hurts. I wish the last time I saw I didn't even get to see a lot of everybody, but I didn't. But the people I did see, it was nice seeing them. I just wish it was under better circumstances. I also wish I knew Maddie a little more, because he was, during my last days working the circuit, because I had a little gap. I had a little gap between then and now, and Maddie is someone I knew in like my last days of House of Glory and everybody else. So I wish I knew more, because he had me sold, man. Like because I didn't know him as well as I knew everybody else, we still followed each other on Instagram, and that he was 24/7 wrestling. That was him. His Instagram didn't get used for anything else. It was if he was fighting with somebody, we knew he was fighting somebody. And that's something, I think that's something a lot of guys working today, both those who were working with him and those who've come after him, still haven't learned yet. I know what show Maddie's on, because Maddie was talking about the feud, talking about the fight, talking about where you're going to see the fight. And I believed in it, because when I met him, sweet guy. But once I took my break from wrestling to focus on school, all I saw was the angry stuff. And I was like, yo, is he, like, I might not need, I don't think I can hang out with this guy. This guy is legit dangerous. And it's nice. It is nice to be in the presence of someone, to tie it back to our own promotion, to talk about Catalyst Wrestling. You talk about someone like Darius Carter, the champ. Darius Carter is Darius Carter 24/7. I always see him. He's well dressed. I had him on a podcast talking comic books, and he was well dressed. Like, he wasn't wearing a Thor graphic tee. I was. No, I don't know what I was wearing, but he was well dressed. He looks like a champ. He is the champ. But he's the champ all the time. And that's something that's part of the craft, and I love being able to talk the craft with you. This is so nice. And normally I'm talking about craft and talking about cheese, with a K. But
trust me, I've gotten that joke a few times, and it's either I get the Kraft macaroni and cheese, or I get that movie from 1996. It's one of the two.
You'd be surprised how much I legitimately talk about cheese. Like I'm in this house, and like if I'm doing the supermarket shopping, I told you we was going to talk about the supermarket. If I go to the supermarket, like, don't get cheese food, don't get no cheese product. Get that 100% cheese. Cheese is important. Cheese is important. But this ain't that craft. Different craft.
I love how he's gonna sell so many people right now and getting some cheese after this podcast. They're like, you know what?
Don't get cheap cheese.
Buy some cheese.
I think everybody already gets cheese. If you're lactose intolerant, you can get the lactate cheese somewhere. But it's important to get good cheese if you're gonna eat. The champion Darius Carter eats quality cheese. I guarantee we're talking not your regular stuff from the supermarket. We're talking artisanal cheese. I don't know why I'm really selling the cheese.
If this doesn't show you guys how far he can sell product, this is why you want him on your shows because he's selling his cheese right now. This is
No,
a
and our champion has top quality cheese. But you showed that poster, and I'm looking forward to that fight because I'm relatively unfamiliar with Akira. I've seen him wrestle. He's been on our show. You know, he's been on our program. But he is new for me. You know, I I recognize him as being part of the deathmatch community. And I also got to see firsthand a bit of his talent in martial arts and his talent in wrestling. And Darius Carter has been going and challenging. Well, not even challenging. He's laid down the gauntlet for anyone to, because he is challenging, but he's the one with the title. Other people are challenging him for the championship. And the quality and the caliber of opponents that Darius Carter has fought, you know, it shows a lot about our champion. And I think this Saturday we're going to see a hell of a fight. You know, I might as well sell something other than cheese. You know, this Saturday, you know, it's going to be a hell of a fight between two quality superstars. And I guarantee you there will be cheese at this place we're going to wrestle at. We're going to see some wrestling.
It is a taco. We're going to get some tacos.
Absolutely.
I would imagine there's going to be cheese there.
Absolutely. You know, everybody's talking about getting a beer or something like that. You can get some cheese at this event if you want to eat. And honestly, we should be selling that anyway. We should be talking about the food more than the liquor anyway, because a lot of the local promotions, you can't get no food. You got to stop by the local bodega, sneak in your sandwich, and hope for the best. But there's actually going to be food here. You know, the food sells me more than the alcohol. You know, bring your kids, bring your wife, Telly, taking her out to this nice little Mexican place to eat, and then you just watch, you know, the greatest champion in Catalyst history go ahead and do what he does best.
There you go. But definitely, we're going to talk a little bit about the show in a little bit. But I do want to bring that up. And what was it that brought you? I feel like I know the answer, but I want to just go through the story here. What was it that brought you back into wrestling? Because again, I knew that you had that little bit of a gap. And it's funny because I feel like when that gap happened, that's when I was getting into wrestling in the business side of things. And then it was like when you finally came back, it's like, hey, now we both work in it. So
no, it's so I like to think that I never left. Like, I know there was a gap there, but I feel like respectfully, a lot of our compatriots in the business, when they're on Facebook, they're a little, I say Facebook because that's where I see it, and this was like years ago anyway, I'm talking about, get a little dramatic, and they talk about their issues that they have behind the scenes on Facebook. And I always thought that was silly. And I'm not just talking about like drama. I just mean like people go in, you know, we can even talk about one of our favorite legends in all of wrestling. Terry Funk has retired like 20,000 times, right? And so when I disappeared for that little gap, I didn't want to make a post that says like, I'm leaving the business, I'm retiring, maybe one day I'll return. I never made a post like that. I was just going to school. I never even like left the promotions that I wasn't working in, you know? Like I never left them. I got a message once because I no-showed a couple of shows. I was never really booked. You know, broadcasters rarely actually get booked. They just expect you to show up. You should be lucky to be here, you know? I don't get booked to a lot of these shows. You know, they just expect you to be there. But when I was in school, I was a theater major. That means I'm not just doing classes in the morning. That means I'm working on production. That means I'm performing. I'm getting my own spotlight. I think one of the biggest moments for me, you want to talk about the craft? Let's talk let's talk craft for the broadcast side. If you're a wrestler and you're working with a star or a legend, you can talk to them and see and get tips on how to break into the business. You can get tips on what you need to improve. The resources are there. You can do it. I don't get that as a broadcaster. Jim Ross never came to one of the shows that I worked at, you know? There was no Michael Cole. The rare opportunities I got to speak to Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer, he told me that I should focus on school, which I was already doing anyway. It's not like he's the reason I went to school or anything, but like he was telling me.
Imagine that be the story though. It's like
Tommy Dreamer.
Tommy Dreamer is the reason.
Yeah, but like Tommy Dreamer had told me nobody from WWE, because there was no AEW at the time, is watching the indie promotion I'm at. If I want to be a broadcaster, this ain't the place to do it. It's like you got to work in a legitimate business, you know. Matt Ryan is someone who worked in radio. You know, I work with Steve. Steve works in radio, and he still works on television productions. He's working on with Stephen Colbert. You know, like that's what he's doing. These are the quality of people. Michael Cole was a war correspondent before wrestling. Todd Pettengill was in radio. All these names, they have resumes that aren't just, oh, I worked in this local spot. And I remember seeing at House of Glory this huge moment. It was Rey Mysterio versus the Amazing Red. And the match ends. And all the Hog Boys jump in. And me and Orsini were sitting at the table, and we don't leave the table, we stay in our spot, you know, because we don't have that same relationship with Red. You know, we're not his boys. He didn't Red, for a lot of people, was almost like a father figure. And you know, I'm not one of his boys. So, you know, we didn't jump in the ring, but I'm watching it happen, and I want that spotlight too. Like, and not that I want to be in the ring and I want to be a wrestler now, but I know that I'm good at what I do. So I went to focus on school and not broadcasting, but working in stage. And I was acting and I was directing, and it took me away from the show, you know? So because I was unreliable, a lot of the people who were counting on me to maybe be at their show, I couldn't be there. Sorry. But once I graduated, and Matt knew this. Here's the thing. Matt has been wanting me to work on Catalyst since before Catalyst was the name, you know? And he was like, oh, can you do this? And I was like, no, buddy, I love you. But if I'm going to be on any wrestling show, I need to make sure that I'm committed. I don't want to lead you on and be like, yeah, I'm going to be there. And then 3 months later, 4 months later, I back out. I'm not around anymore. So the opportunity after I graduated, we started chit-chatting, and I started working with him again. And got to be part of Catalyst. And working with Catalyst, it has been a great opportunity because I've got to explore different sides of myself. I've got to work with Bobby Orlando. I've got to work with, you know, the Hot Boys, all the Hot Boys. And then when the opportunity went from interviewer to working behind the table again, I jumped at it. It was a great opportunity. Working with Steve is something I've wanted. I've known Steve a long time and never got to be behind the table with him. It's so being able to work with Steve again, it's fantastic. And I get to work with I've got to work with Loke, I've got to work with Mike Law, I've got to work with so many personalities. I've known Mike Law a long time, and it's been fantastic working with all the people I'm working with. Thanks, Matt, for bringing me back, dragging me into this wild world.
No, definitely so. And again, even when I saw you coming back, I was like, it was a great sight because I'm like, now it feels like the pieces are coming back together. Because that's what I always felt
Right.
like Catalyst was, that it was the perfect puzzle getting to work together again, to see so many old friends there. And then that generation thing, like I've always said about Catalyst, of getting the best of that year that we grew up and then the years now of the modern era of wrestling.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Like, you talk about generations. We have new stars, but then we also have Trevor Murdoch dropping by with the NWA Championship. You know, we have new stars, but then Homicide is here, who's repping that New York City old school. He's been like, it's not enough to say he's a pioneer. I feel like it's cheap to say he's a pioneer. He is, but he's for a long time, wrestling felt like, when you hear the old school talk about it, it feels like a Southern thing, wrestling. And I used to wonder watching wrestling, where's the New York guys from? And Homicide is like our New York representative. That, yeah, we like wrestling up here too. And even though he might be known for being a brawler, you see him in that ring, he can throw down too. He can wrestle. He's a technician and a brawler, and he knows Puerto Rican judo, and so it's great. It's fantastic. Um, so it's being able to have all of the new school, the old school, both behind the scenes and in the ring. It's a beautiful thing. Also, I
Definitely
felt
is.
bad.
And here we
Wait,
go.
wait, wait. I felt bad because when I saw you, it had been a while, but I didn't realize that I had blocked people. And it wasn't because they had done anything wrong. I don't mind airing the dirty laundry because it's not even that dirty. Um, to my friends on Facebook, I don't think like I'm not saying don't do the Facebook invite. Like, invite as many people as you can, however methods you can. Um, but I kept getting all of these invites to wrestling shows, and it was annoying. And so I blocked some people that I didn't even intend to block. It said block from getting invites, and instead I ended up blocking some of my favorite people. So oops. Some of those people might still be blocked, and they can see me live.
Hey, there you go. See him Saturday. That's
Yeah,
sabotage.
yeah. You can
But no,
see
it's
me.
funny because I remember that was one of the first combos we had, and I was like, I kind of figured it was that because again, as I started getting in the business, the first thing you're told is invite everybody.
Yeah, but I find, see, here's the thing now. So you have your podcast. I have. I don't really. I don't. I still show up on podcasts occasionally. I got the YouTube show. I've got a TikTok show. I've got a bunch of things that I'm doing. And I was doing the same thing, inviting people on Facebook to whatever I was doing, until I realized that my Facebook people ain't showing up. And it's not that there's a mental hump that you have to get over, because you're counting on the people to show up, and those who do, brilliant. But the people who already know you're great aren't really the people you want. The people who already know you're great, you know, they have their own interests also, and they can't just. I apologize for any noise happening in the background. I don't know if it's picking up on the mic. Um, but this is not a studio. This is a bedroom with other people, and doing the best I can. We're doing it live, baby. We're doing it live. So the the what you want to do is grow your audience so that you don't have to rely on the people you know. Of the people you know, maybe 1 out of 100 is going to be there for you, showing up at your shows like consistently. Like consistently, like very few do. But they have their own things that they're doing. You shouldn't rely on them to follow your passion. They have their own passions. What you want to do is find people with similar passions to come check out your show. And sometimes that leads to growth. So Dash and Deason, for example, one of my best friends, and it's a shame because I haven't seen him in a while, but we still keep in contact. Like, that's one of my best friends, like outside of the business, before he was in the business, before I was in the business. He was a friend who came to show support. And he didn't come to every show, but he came to a show. And then he went and followed his own passions, and now he's in the ring. You know what I'm saying? So now he can't come to every show that I'm doing because he's got his own shows that he is doing.
I've gotten to call him at a few shows now. He's part of Project Codename Wrestling. So that's awesome.
Dashing D1000 is one of my favorite people in the world, with, I think, one of the best personalities in the world. And I think in an era where I think certain styles maybe get more attention than others, he is someone who shines with his personality. He's somebody who, oh my goodness, like he's. Some people are just in the ring, and he'll work you in the ring, but he's got personality, and I wish more people were paying attention to that personality. But what I was saying,
no, definitely so. It was great when I had him on here because that personality definitely was. It was showing.
Dudes like, and that's the thing. You get a dude like him on your show, and it elevates your show, and you help give him spotlight. I saw Chris Cage, my man Took. He's another one I got a lot of love for. And he's jawing it up with Bullrog, and and seeing that, you get Took all the time. It's woof. It's personality, man. A lot of people need help in the personality department. But what I was saying is, you want to get, it's not your Facebook friends. You do want your Facebook friends to show up, but really, if you can grow your audience, get the flyers out, appearing on these shows, meet and greets, whatever you can do to get the word out. I'm sorry I blocked you guys, but Facebook is not the thing to promote, the best way to promote a show. Personally, I find. And that's why I promote. I'm not promoting Catalyst TikTok because I work for them. I'm promoting their TikTok because that's where the audience is. People are very attuned to watching the video. Like, I can sell you with my words, but you can't hear me with what I text. I can't give you my personality like with my invite. What I can do is share. I can share a GIF. I can share a reel on Instagram. I can share somebody's fantastic clothesline or some weird move that I don't know the name of. But like makes everybody go, oh, I can share that. And people who don't even follow me might see that, because a mutual friend will hit like, and TikTok, whereas YouTube will swallow the algorithm because they want you to pay for views, and they want you to, TikTok, they're not all swallowed up in ads yet. Like, they have ads, but they're not all swallowed up in ads. You can really grow on TikTok. You can also really grow on LinkedIn. Sounds weird, but you can grow on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a multimedia project where one like gets you hundreds of views. Just one like, hundreds of views. So again, like, I don't know why I'm still apologizing. Sorry to everybody I blocked. Not that you'll hear it unless well, Ray.
I was gonna say,
Ray didn't block you.
I was gonna say I didn't do it. I was blocked for a moment, but we're all good now. We now both work at the lovely Catalyst Wrestling, which I guess let's segue onto that, because we do have a show on Saturday. Let's talk about Sabotage.
I'm excited. Is there anyone
Definitely
you're most excited for? Like, I know you're trying not to show favoritism, but is there one that you're more hyped for?
Yeah, this is the hard part. I'm supposed to be impartial, but
No.
definitely. I'm definitely looking forward to Colby and Jack. I'll say that. Just because of how much is in there. It's insane getting to see Jack Evans now back on the indie scene and getting to see him face a second generation star, a man that's held our gold at Callis Wrestling in Colby Carino. It's going to be great to see those two go at it. I gave a little bit of my thoughts yesterday, but what are your thoughts seeing you're going to be calling this match on Saturday? Your thoughts on it?
Oh, I'm doing my homework because Jack comes with a lot of history, and it's hard to tie in. Like he has the benefit of being on TV like recently, but he has a whole lot of history, and it's hard to tie in his lineage, like you know, everything that he carries with him. He's bringing it to a Catalyst ring. It elevates our performers. That's a fight I'm looking for, and I'm not sure who's coming out on top. I mean, it's woof. Colby, of course. Colby, he's got business with him. You know, he's got the business with him, and that puts things in his puts things a little unfairly in his advantage. But also without them, he's doing fantastic on the NWA. You know, he's been fantastic for us Catalyst before he was on NWA. You know, like I think it's wonderful that we get to talk about the NWA. You know, Homicide's NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion, and he's going to be defending his championship as Catalyst as well. But Colby was he was one of ours before he was NWA. And so he's not just representing where he is now, he's representing this company, whether he wants to or not. And I think he wants to, because that's the whole point of the business. There's a different method, but the way you want us to respect the craft, and we talk about respecting the craft in his own weird way, Colby's doing the same thing. It's the business and respecting the business. You know, unfortunately, we saw the injury to Bobby Jr. But that was part of the business. Colby feels like that's goofiness and doesn't belong in the business. I'm saying business a lot. Sorry. But you bring these two stars. One who's probably not even touched his prime yet, and one who is in his prime and coming off of probably some of his biggest paydays and working with some of the biggest stars, and now they're gonna clash. And it's I don't know who's coming out on top, but it's gonna be an exciting contest. I'm not going to place a wager. The match I'm most looking for is probably, and it sounds cheap because I feel like I shouted him out already, but anytime I get to do commentary for the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship, you know, for me that's always the highlight for me. I think in all of sports, and all sports that have weight divisions, pardon me, like there's no junior heavyweight baseball team, but the lightweight division in, you know, UFC, middleweight, lightweight, cruiserweight in boxing has always been more fascinating to me, whether it's Money Mayweather or you know, Felix Tino Trinidad or Roy Jones Jr. The middleweight, lightweight, cruiserweight division has always been a favorite for me. But I also see a lightweight championship as a world championship. To me, the just because he's a lightweight doesn't mean he's not the world champion. It means he's the best lightweight in the world. So the way I see it, I'm calling a world championship match whenever I get to call a Homicide match and he's defending that gold around his waist. So that's what I'm most excited for. And we have a lot of new faces coming. Oh man. Man, I'm excited for Ray Jazz, who's he's not new to Catalyst, but he's still like he's growing. Like when I first saw him, it's like, all right, let's see what he's got. And then he showed me what I got, and I was like, oh, okay. Let me not sleep on this guy. Ray Jazz has defeated champions in Catalyst. There's so much I'm looking forward to. Akira coming through. That's gonna be fantastic. You've got me rambling right now. TIM, the Infinite TIM.
That's gonna be good.
Yeah, that's
him
gonna
and Kid Bandit. That's gonna be great. That's gonna be great.
It's he's another one. And like we talked about the gap that I had. So TIM, he's not necessarily a new face for me. Like I've got to see him, but technically compared to how long I was, like, he wasn't there during the gap. So get to watch him now, to me, he's still kind of a new face. And getting to watch, he's been impressive. His personality shines. He's someone to watch out for. I think all promotions need to keep an eye out for him. Oh man, there's so many.
This is what you love about a show like this, because that's what you want to hear. You want to hear the excitement for just there's so much that's going to be going on. Again, it's a great card. Like, again, it's stacked. There's the reason why you should have gotten your tickets by now, which if you haven't yet, let me save you some money. Again, we talked about this last night. Use the code RESPECT and save 10% on those tickets. Get your tickets. Again, it's a show that's going to be, you're going to have wrestling, tacos, booze. It's going to be a great day. There's going to be cheese there. Again.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You just showed the picture, and I was like, oh my goodness, and the Tri-State Saints. Oh my goodness. Monster Mac. Oh my good. Church's Money. Joker. There's a lot of like my favorite people to watch. And I'm not just saying that because I work there. Like, I legitimately enjoy, like, Steve Monster Mac. Monster Mac has been, I feel like, for so long, he's been nice when he didn't have to be. Backstage and in the ring. And it's nice to see him just, aligned with gold, and watching, getting to see all of them wrestling. But Monster Mac, he's a monster. He is that. Did I lose you?
No, I can still hear you.
Oh my goodness.
Can you hear him?
Like a window had opened up, and I was like, oh my goodness.
No, it should still be good. We hear you. Oh, you're good. But no, that's something we talked about yesterday, and I've always talked about, like, seeing the Tri-State Saints together. It's insane because it's so much history there. It's legit when you look at their accolades and just their tenure in the business. It's legit over 6 decades worth of experience. Like, think about that. Between Mac, Joker, and G's, the amount of teams they've been a part of, just the miles, and even just they've traveled all around the world. And they're facing a team which, again, they're still in there. They still haven't hit their prime yet in the main event. But I know they are definitely also students of the craft. They're looking at this match as definitely to prove themselves, not only the Catalyst, but to everyone watching, that, hey, they can hang in there with a veteran trio like this.
Yeah, it's everybody has something to prove at this show. I brought up TIM, and he just had this whole falling out with the Ducks. He basically gave up his goal. And now I'm looking at the Tri-State Saints. They're someone who's rubbing everybody the wrong way. Like, we can't even get through a show without Brendan, our ring announcer, having a friggin' problem with the like everybody.
Hey, I'm gonna say I love the Tri-State Saints because I'm not trying to get beat up by the Theos. I also still host a podcast with Theo Monster Mac. That'll be
I
happening
know.
tomorrow.
I
So
know. I know. I see he's on your show, and then you got a whole nother show with him just together. It's he's always been good to me because he's done commentary on Catalyst.
yep.
He's very nice to us. He doesn't have to be. He really doesn't. I'm so grateful he is. But he's been really letting loose in the ring, and I don't say nothing. I don't say nothing. Like I was promoting the show on Twitter, and he retweeted me. So let me not rub him the wrong way. Because then there goes the unfollow. Then there's a conversation in the back, like, "Hey, what's going on?" And so a lot of people have a problem with them. I don't have a problem with them. You do your thing.
Nope. Same. Again, I love me some Theo Mac. I love Philly's Most Wanted. Let's hope for the best for them.
Yeah,
so that way we're not throwing at walls.
I don't. I talked about being unbiased. I don't like picking winners. But you know what? I think the Saints got it. I think the Saints got it. And
I'm going to agree with you on that one.
Tell me. If you feel different, don't tell me. That's your business. That's your business. I'm looking forward to the opportunity from these from the young upstarts that are challenging them. And some might even say that this is anyone's game. But if you ask me, because I don't want to be approached by, like, he's not my TO, but if he tells me to call him TO, I'm gonna call him TO. Uncle Steve, love you, Uncle Steve. You TO now. I can't even.
That's it. Now you gotta call him TO. But let's keep it going here, because I also wanted to talk about this. We got the Sabotage plugs out of the way, which, again, go check out Sabotage. But I want to talk a little bit about more what you're doing as well, because also you brought up TikTok earlier, a great platform. Which, again, go follow us on TikTok as well, guys. Yeah. But go follow Brandon, because you're doing some great things on there with another form of media that I love as well, and that's the comic books and all that with Superhero Dictionary.
Yeah,
I love what you're doing there. It's such a great idea. Tell us a little bit of what did that come with you wanting to create that style of media?
Well, I've been wanting to do something like this for a while, but it's like when you're not in an arena, and you don't necessarily have studio space or anything. I think TikTok is a great platform that doesn't require you to have a lot of technical know-how. I'm a stage performer. I am a broadcast journalist. I am not a film editor. So doing YouTube can be difficult. TikTok allows me the opportunity to just talk about whatever the hell I want for 15 seconds, a minute, whatever. And the editing tools are really easy. And the concept behind Superhero Dictionary is very simple. I learned how to read with comic books. Comic books is what taught me how to read. I mean, I'm sure there were other methods too, like parents and school teachers, but the comic books made me want to read. Reading is super important. If you are a gamer, all games require reading now. There's tutorials where the text is on there. Comic books was it for me. Superhero Dictionary allows me the opportunity to take one word and define the word. And all these words are named after superheroes. So the most recent one I did was North Star. And North Star, I explained the definition of, but I just say that it was the star on the Little Dipper, part of Ursa Minor constellation, that seemingly, because it's not actually, unmoving, but it seems like it's just hovering over our North Pole. And that ended up being how he got the name, because he has these powers that make him as fast. He's actually faster than light. He can't move faster than light, or else he'd die and wreck everything around him. But North Star is as fast as light, and he has light-based powers, and he can fly. So he appears. Also, he's part of Alpha Flight, so he is in Canada. So he gives North Star is just a great name for him. So I get to say the word, say what it means, say how it applies to the character, talk to the character for a little bit, and do it in under a minute, which is not very easy because I've been talking about it already for like 2 minutes.
I was gonna say that's always, to me, that's why I love TikTok at times, but I'm like, for me personally, I'm still trying to figure out how to do videos of my content on there because I'm like, I don't know how you do it that you're able to keep it in that short time frame. But you get, and it's so engaging though that it's like I wouldn't mind listening to it for a longer period of time.
Right, right. The TikTok I think just allows for a lot of opportunity. So like you can take your best moments from your podcast and you could put that to advertise your podcast on TikTok. You can go on there and do something longer than a minute and do story time, which I see a lot of people doing on Instagram. People will go and show their behind the scenes. You know who I always thought was very good? Larry Legend. Larry Legend has always been very good at showcasing things on his IG story. You can do the same thing with Reels. You can do the same thing with TikTok. You can go live. I think there's a lot of opportunity for people to use these platforms, especially TikTok right now, because it is the least regulated out of everybody, where getting followers doesn't seem like this impossible task.
Yeah.
I
think I know which clip, what I'm clipping from this podcast and putting on TikTok next. It's just gonna be this sell of TikTok to everyone.
Yeah, you could put anything on there.
Which here we go. Andy's asking, what's your TikTok, brother? Let the people know where they can find you on the TikToks.
So my I have to like kind of explain this. So my name on TikTok is Lewis or Brandon, but whereas my Instagram and my Twitter is just that, at Lewis or Brandon. Somehow I messed up doing TikTok. I TikToked wrong because I'm old. I shouldn't even be on TikTok. But because I messed up, it's still at Lewis or Brandon, but there's underscores between the Lewis, the or, and the Brandon. Yep. Yeah. So it's the same as everything else. So you just gotta.
Yeah, I was looking at it now. Like, okay. So yeah, so for everyone watching, go check it out. It's Lewis _or Brandon. Go give him a follow. Again, the series, I love it. I've been watching it. I've been supporting. And Andy, if you want to go follow me as well, we'll be getting more clips on there. Respect the Craft on TikTok. We got to get more stuff on there.
Do it. Follow on all platforms. Follow.
But here we go. Here's an old friend of ours, Isaac, asking. Here's the question for Brandon. When is he joining the Black and Purple? I'm guessing he's asking about violence and suffering.
When Black and Purple books me.
There you go. Simple answer right there.
I'm not the same person that was like years ago. Where all my time was open. When I started, I was like my schedule was flexible, and I was single for a lot of that wrestling time. And now I live with my lovely lady who will call me even when I'm recording live. She will, I have a full-time job. I work at a school, and I'm pretty dedicated to Catalyst. Not just because I really like working there, but I get a couple dollars, and I know when the show is coming. I know when the show is coming months ahead of time. I feel like I'm booked on Catalyst. I don't think there's just an expectation to show up. I brought that up earlier. Matt, Matt says, this is the day, you available? And I'm like, yeah. And then there we go.
Yeah. I feel like that's something I sorry to cut you off there. I think that's something that changed from that gap of when you were doing this full time to now, is that now it is even for commentary, there is a conversation about bookings. It's not just this is the team, because everything could change. And that's what I kind of like about the business now.
You have to tell me that though, because I still see myself as out of the business. I'm really it was a lot different when I was in Hog and then ICW and then like FWE and FTW, and this is just all these letters and acronyms. And I'm sorry. That was,
Shout out to all those promotions right there.
but all these acronyms and there was just an expectation. I'm not really around all these other shows because I like being with my girlfriend, you know, and I have a job and I have, you know, Superhero Dictionary does actually like working in comic books. Like I'm also like, I'm not just doing that. Like you go on YouTube and you can follow either To Be Seen on YouTube or you can follow the Spectrum Sanctorum. And I'm doing a lot of comic book related nonsense there as well. It occupies a lot of my time. I already mentioned, and I don't regret it, but when I'm behind the booth, I'm putting you over. I'm putting the wrestlers over. If I'm not booked, I'm putting myself over. So I don't really have time, even as audience, to go and check out other shows. There's a lot of new promotions that I would like to check out. Guys that started out as fans, either they got their own podcast or they're doing what I'm doing and doing broadcasting and they're running their own promotions, their video editing, their Isaac. You know, I love Isaac. I don't know how long this show is supposed to be, but it could run for another half hour just talking about Isaac. Isaac is and always has been way smarter than he was supposed to be, especially when it comes to the business. And what he's doing is incredible. Like watching the show he puts on and watching him go from just taking photos and doing videos and now he's beyond that. He's beyond that. And I would love to check out a show as a member of the audience one day. There's a lot of shows I'd like to like. I'm not saying any of their names because I'm putting over my own show. I love you.
No, definitely. I think like eventually, again, when time permits, you got to come check out one of the project shows. Not just because I'm on there, but because I feel like, especially with that 2KW vibe that you were with, you would enjoy a lot of the talent there. A lot of the talent are from that era.
I love, man, I love the project. I do. I like the promotion of it. You know, I like the way the advertisements look. And it looks very on brand for what wrestling is doing today. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't promote a show the same way you promote a show 10 years ago. You look at Catalyst Wrestling and our advertisements are so different. Like especially our video ones. Like it's hard to get it. But even I love that. Hold on, put it back up there. Not just because I benefit from like being able to see what everybody's doing, but like the advertisement, the framing of the advertisement almost looks like a hot sauce bottle. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's the way that multimedia promotion is done now is still an unrecognized part of the craft. You know, that's why I'm happy to be here to be able to talk from not a wrestling point of view. That's part of the craft too. And Isaac is someone who's been doing this a long time. And so he is, you know, like he's still so young, not as young as he used to be. I'm sure he doesn't feel young anymore, but he's still so.
I was gonna say, yeah, when we have our combos, it's like, yeah, we definitely don't anymore. From 7 years ago when all this was starting, and we have lost a good brother.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
I hear you fine. I'm the one who's having connection issue. I just fine.
Okay. Okay, perfect. I was like, wait, we lost him just when you were putting Isaac over.
Yeah, no, Isaac is look. Every time I try to put someone over, man, Isaac is like a young genius, and
there we go. We love you too, brother. There you
yeah,
go.
very much.
Yeah,
I
I
see
love
you
the good
there.
love.
There's a couple of guys on there who like I see them and you know, I love man, like I love Sammy. I love Riot Rays, man. I love Max Murder. I love man. I love.
Those are another guys I got to have on the podcast just because, again, just knowing everyone so many years now, it's insane. Again, the opportunities that have happened, and I feel like that's always a crazy thing. Like I said, getting to meet a lot of you guys close to now 7 years ago, and to see where the roads have taken us, it's crazy.
It's the road has taken us very far. We've all gotten to do some very cool things.
And we lost them again.
I feel like I'm losing again. I'm sorry.
Yep. It's all good, brother. You know what it is? It's someone trying to give us the take it home. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's exactly
someone
what it is.
Giving us the take it home side.
It's like, yo, it's an hour and 16 minutes, man. When's he gonna shut up? He's been talking about cheese. He's been talking about good old times. He's like, man, he ain't spilled no juicy details. He didn't bury anybody. Yo, get off the show. Get off. It's just been a love fest and cheese. Like nobody want to talk about
this is what I wanted,
poster. Nobody wanted. We want to talk about wrestling. You busy talking about posters in your days in theater. Get off the show.
Here we go. We got Andy saying no, he's enjoying this. We all are. And this is why I wanted Brandon on, because I wanted to have a good conversation with an old friend. Because again, it has been a minute since we gotten to have a convo like this. So it was great to be able to catch up and talk about again how that road is taking us. Again, to see what you get to do now. I love that we get to work together finally. And it's always a great time. Hopefully now, the goal has to be now. Hopefully, again, it can happen at Catalyst one day. But we have to call a match together. That's at least my goal now.
I have a very we I know we got to wrap this up.
Yeah.
But me and you, me and AJ Pan again. Oh my goodness, I'm messing up. His name's on the tip of my tongue. Oh my boy, this is so terrible. He's gonna curse me out. He's gonna curse me out. We were just talking about it on Twitter. There's a Cheyenne. There we go. Oh man. Woo! Woo! Oh man. Never done commentary with him. Would love to. We almost did, but then I disappeared to school. Stupid school. Katrid. She's not really local anymore. But I would love to do commentary with the women. There's too many dudes in commentary. I'm not trying to take food off my plate. I'm not trying to take food off your plate. Too many dudes doing commentary.
I was gonna say I just started getting food on my plate. Oh, yeah. Don't take it away yet.
Yeah. But we need some women. The things that our, like, we live in New York. So, and a lot of the people who come to our show, we've got a lot of, we're very Latino heavy, seems. Yep. All of our lucha libre happens here in New York. So, but we need more women. We could use some Black voices in commentary, some Asian voices, some South Asian voices in commentary, Middle Eastern voices in commentary, But Katrid is someone I would love to. Ariella Nix, I would love to do commentary with Ariella Nix. Man, there's a list of people I haven't done commentary with, and I don't think I'll ever hang up the bow tie or tie, microphone, whatever I'm wearing, my jacket. I won't hang up my commentary jacket until I do commentary with all of those people, because there's a list. and I miss them. And I got to work with them, and I got to call their matches, or I got to work with them behind the scenes. Never got to do commentary with them. You and me, Ray, let's do it.
Definitely, we gotta happen somewhere. And here we go. We got Joe Bullrog in the chat. There you go. Much love there. Gotta love that. Again, I got to call some of Joe's matches. Joe's first match back, I got to call on commentary. That was great.
Joe, look, Joe's one of the few people that like I can say like I think from like it's different from you because you were training.
Yeah.
You are like one of the boys to a certain respect. Broadcasting, you don't get to be one of the boys, but you've put in work and built relationships where you know what the boys go through. So you're one of the boys. I'm not trying to be one of the boys, but Joe is someone who is one of my boys. You know, in the way that, you know, you could talk about JR and Steve Austin, or you could talk about Excalibur and anyone he's worked with, or you know, when you talk about or Gene Okerlund and the bald guy with the red and the yellow, that's their boy, you know, and Joe is someone I've not just, you know, called, you know, a match, like I've had drinks with this dude, you know. You know, we've traveled, you know, we went to Texas together, like Joe is one of those people that I have a close relationship with, and I don't reach out very often, but I still keep an eye out. He's still in great shape, and you know, he's still in incredible shape. And anytime I get to watch him work, I'm impressed, because a lot of us don't stay in the same shape we did. I'm a little upset that you showed those pictures of young me, because I don't look like that no more. Sure, my hair is great and my beard's fantastic, but my belly has grown a bit, and I don't appreciate it. But it's cool. It's cool. Joe looks great. Love him.
There you go. But no, definitely, it's always an honor to get to call his matches. And again, yeah. I said it on commentary, and again, I meant it. Seeing what he's done, you can't tell he's 6 years removed. Getting to see him back in there, it's like he never missed a step.
No,
and it's always great.
Some of the quickest hands to this day.
Definitely. I'm still waiting to see a little bit more of his hands. He's been a little bit on the injured side still in the ring, so I'm waiting to see the full Iron Fist in action at Project or anywhere.
I heard it, but he's phenomenal. I got a lot of love for him. And see, I told you this. Now it's reaching to $130. It's reaching to $130. It's because I won't shut up. Ray already started wrapping up the show. It's like, wait a second, hold on. The people I want to do commentary with. By the way, I don't mention how much I love Joe. Joe's great.
You know what I love about it is always when I'm trying to wrap up, that's when everyone comes in the comments. That's why. So it's like, now we have to talk a little more. And here we go. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it, brother. It was great having him on as well on the show. That was a great one. Till we ended up, I guess, starting a match that's now going to happen on August 6th. Joe Bullrog and Superstar Whiplash in a tag match against Chris Cage and To Be Determined. So if you guys are watching Project Codename Wrestling, definitely check out that. We'll be having that coming up soon.
I don't know what everybody's beef is with Cage. The family was never closed door. Should have just listened to Mr. Marconi there. And
see, now we get another side of this. I have too many people telling their sides, and now we get your side.
That's all I'm putting
there
in.
You go. There you go. But brother, before I let you go, before we really wrap this up, I have to ask you the last question I ask everyone that comes on. And that is, for Brandon Lewis, what is the end goal?
End goal. So something has to end? My
Well, it's usually like, okay, so what is like I always say the end goal just because it's like, especially with wrestling, it's always like, what is it we want to accomplish before we do hang it up?
That's interesting. I've never thought about an end goal. My end goal has just been to be happy. And it's also the same as my present goal and my past goals. You know, if I can make money, doing the things I love. The thing that I find myself interested in since I start putting myself over is the same way that you see some of these AEW guys and WWE guys on G4 or doing Twitch streams. Like, anytime I could bridge the gap between comic books and wrestling, because, you know, you have me here and you're letting me plug what I do. I would love to have a comic conversation and bring my wrestling friends in. And anytime you can bridge that gap, I'm a happy dude. But there is no end goal. I don't want to work for any one company. I don't. Like my girlfriend wants to move to Canada. Like you think I'm trying to actually be signed to AEW and travel the United States while I'm living in Canada? That'll make my girlfriend so upset. No, the end goal is just being able to do what I do as long as I can, have fun doing it. That's it. I'm not trying to get signed nowhere. I'm just trying to promote Catalyst Wrestling this Saturday. My end goal is to see Wrecking Ball Legursky. My end goal is to see everybody. My end goal is to see Ghost Shadow. My end goal is to get some cheese in my taco. My like that's it. And I'm not trying to be glib. I'm not like, you know, the whole purpose is respecting the craft. I just I don't see why the craft has to end at any point. It'll end when I end.
No, I like that side of it, because it's usually the answer ends up being something to the degree of the signing, leaving the business better. But I like that your view on it is, why does it have to end? Why does it have to be something that you're not able to just continue doing if it makes you happy? I like that side to it.
Yeah, like no one, like, I'm not saying anybody has to be The Rock and then get tired of wrestling, and not that I'm saying he's tired, but he found new opportunities that excite him. Same thing with John Cena, Batista, et cetera, et cetera. But you look at people who've gotten to maybe wind down their wrestling and become and open up a school, or become an agent, or become a writer. It's you never know where it's gonna end, and the craft may take you further than, like, after you get signed, then what? Or if you don't get signed, then what? The craft doesn't have to end. There's you know, a lot of people who were indie pioneers maybe never got their chance to shine under spotlight, but end up working in a performance center or become referees. It's and they get to experience a new dream. The craft doesn't have to end. Yeah, that's it.
There you go. I love that. And again, brother, thank you so much for coming on. We definitely have to link up again. Hopefully we can do it on your side of things and talk some comics. I would love to talk about everything in that in the MCU and all that.
I would love to. We will make that happen, because I haven't had a comic conversation in a long time. Normally it just ends up being me talking to myself. So it's been a while since I had somebody on the show. You and me, we're gonna hook it up.
Definitely, brother. We'll talk about it Saturday. Again, we'll talk about it after with some tacos, some cheese, and all that.
This Saturday,
after Sabotage.
Catalyst presents Sabotage. Championships will be defended. You are looking at whoa, man, it keeps changing. It's fine. I know the card. But
hey, I gotta show everything to make sure we please everyone that's gonna be on the card.
Go ahead. You can put it up. We got the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship. We got the Catalyst Championship, the grand prize. No disrespect to anybody else who's running this weekend or in our same local area, but this is our championship. We got now. He's our champion. He's a Super 8 tournament winner. He's arguably, or maybe undeniably, the best thing going on in indie wrestling today, and he's our champion. And he's defending it against the Akira Way. And it's going to be an amazing time. And it's going to be, you know, you got the best wrestlers. You really got the best wrestlers in the world showing up on our program. And if you are foolish enough to not make this show, there's free Catalyst Wrestling on YouTube. Go check it out. I definitely recommend you check it out, because if you go live, which I still recommend you do, get your cheese. If you go live, sit near the commentary booth, and you can hear me and Steve doing commentary as it's happening. But if you can't make it live, you know that you go to that YouTube channel and you can hear my voice doing commentary there with Steve. So that's always my selling point. But please check it out live. Take your girl out to some Mexican food. Have a margarita. It's hot out there. Get your frozen marg and check out Catalyst Wrestling.
There you go, guys. Again, go check out all that. Go support Brandon as well. Go follow him on his socials. Again, go check out everything he's doing. Go follow him on the TikToks as well. And again, brother, thank you so much for coming on. I'll see you this Saturday. And as always, guys, if you're watching, as always, don't forget to be wise, be genuine, be real, be better people, respect the craft, and come back in just half an hour as I'll be back with a third episode of Respect the Craft as I'll be joined by Chris Barton. So see you guys. Peace. And we'll see you.